Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Today is Monday, March 8, 2021. Al Jazeera report. I want answers. 6 years on, Itai Dzamara's wife undeterred. Harare, Zimbabwe, wearing a red Manchester United replica jersey with black shorts and sandals. Prominent activist Itai Dzamara left his home to get a haircut at the neighborhood barbershop in Glenview, a high-density suburb south of Zimbabwe's capital, Harare. In a few minutes he would be back, he told his wife, whom he asked to prepare breakfast. Sheffra Dzamara did so and waited for him to return.
BBC report. Lula, Brazil's ex-president cleared by Supreme Court. Lula, a left-wing icon to many, was freed in 2019 after 18 months in jail. He was convicted following an investigation, Operation Car Wash, into a huge bribery scandal which ensnared politicians and business leaders. But Supreme Court Justice Edson Fachin annulled Lula's convictions. He said in a statement that a court in the southern city of Curitiba did not have the right to try the 4 cases, which should instead be heard by a federal court in the capital, Brasilia.
Deutsche Welle report. Myanmar authorities threaten more arrests. A large group of pro-democracy protesters were cornered by Myanmar security forces on Monday after breaking a nighttime curfew to demonstrate against a military coup. The UN said 200 people were unable to leave the site of the rally. We urge the police to immediately allow them to leave safely and without reprisals. Thousands previously marched through the Sanchang district in the country's biggest city of Yangon to call on the ruling junta to stand aside.
CNN report. How rape allegations among Australia's political elite reignited its #MeToo movement. When Australia's Attorney General last week outed himself as the minister accused of raping a 16-year-old girl in 1988, his denial was emphatic: "The things that I have read did not happen. And to suggest that they could be forgotten is ridiculous," said Christian Porter, who oversees legal affairs and national security, before starting a period of mental health leave. For Prime Minister Scott Morrison, that was the end of the matter.
Fox report. NC woman adopted as infant discovers biological father is on FBI's most wanted list after DNA test. A North Carolina woman who was adopted as an infant has discovered through genealogical sleuthing that her biological father is one of the FBI's most wanted fugitives for brutally murdering his mother, wife and 3 sons in 1976, according to reports. Kathy Gilchrist began searching for her biological parents in 2017, Fox television stations reported. Gilchrist connected with Susan Gilmore, a third cousin on her biological mother's side whose knack for genealogical research helped to dig deeper into Gilchrist's family history.
Deutsche Welle report. Senegal opposition leader freed amid new clashes. Senegalese authorities charged opposition leader Ousmane Sonko with rape and then freed him from detention pending an investigation on Monday, after his arrest last week sparked deadly protests. Several people, including a child, were killed in nationwide clashes that followed the arrest of Sonko, a government critic who is popular with the country's youth. Even as the 46-year-old was released, new clashes erupted between security forces and crowds gathering in anticipation of his arrival.
Fox report. Missing UK woman seen in security video walking alone. A British woman who went missing last week after leaving a friend's house was seen on a security video walking alone the night she disappeared, according to investigators. Sarah Everard, 33, reportedly disappeared the evening of March 3 after leaving her friend's house in South London. It normally would have taken her around 50 minutes to arrive home, according to Scotland Yard. Private door camera footage captured Everard walking alone about 30 minutes after she left her friend's house.
Fox report. Syria's Bashar al-Assad and his wife test positive for coronavirus, office announces. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and his wife have tested positive for the coronavirus, the president's office said Monday. Assad, 55, and his wife Asma both had only mild symptoms of the illness, according to the statement, and were said to be in good health and in stable condition. Both Assad and Asma, who is 10 years younger and announced her recovery from breast cancer in 2019, will continue to work from home where they will isolate between 2 to 3 weeks, Assad's office said.
BBC report. New U.S. guidance says fully vaccinated people can meet without masks. Those who have received the required jabs can visit with other vaccinated people and some unvaccinated people, according to the new guidelines. People are considered protected 2 weeks after they take the final dose of their vaccine, the CDC said. Over 30 million Americans have been fully vaccinated thus far. Health officials announced the new safety guidelines at Monday's White House Coronavirus Task Force briefing.
BBC report. Samuel Paty. French schoolgirl admits lying about murdered teacher. The girl, whose complaint sparked an online campaign against Paty, has now admitted that she was not in the class. Mr. Paty's killing stunned France and led to an outpouring of support at memorial ceremonies and marches around the country. The 13-year-old girl, who has not been named, originally told her father that Paty had asked Muslim students to leave the classroom while he showed the cartoon during a class on free speech and blasphemy.
CNN report. Russian diplomats and their families leave North Korea by hand-pushed rail trolley due to COVID-19 restrictions. 8 employees of Russia's embassy in Pyongyang and their families spent more than 34 hours trying to leave North Korea this week. A grueling trip that ended with at least one diplomat pushing his luggage and young children on a railway trolley into Russian territory. North Korea's borders have been effectively locked down for months as part of the Kim Jong-un regime's efforts to keep COVID-19 at bay, stranding the few diplomats operating inside Pyongyang.
CNN report. Being owned by a billionaire is a struggling newsroom's dream, but it can turn into a nightmare. Not all rich people spend their money on space travel and charities. Some also want to own media companies. Jeff Bezos has the Washington Post. John and Linda Henry have the Boston Globe. Mark and Lynn Benioff have Time magazine. Laurene Powell Jobs has The Atlantic. And soon, most likely, Stuart Bainum Jr. will have the Baltimore Sun. Bainum Jr., a businessman and former politician, is planning to take over the Baltimore Sun Media Group, a part of Tribune Publishing (TPCO), and turn it into a nonprofit.
Deutsche Welle report. Pakistani women protest patriarchy pandemic. Mask-wearing protesters marched in Islamabad, Lahore and Karachi on the International Women's Day. The rallies come after a 2020 march was attacked. Some women marched wearing the traditional Pakistani outfit salwar kameez, and others hung dresses on clothing lines across the street to symbolize domestic abuse. A Twitter user posted a video of the clothing. The women marching also held colorful banners to demonstrate their demands.
Al Jazeera report. Death toll from devastating Equatorial Guinea blasts jumps to 98. The death toll from a series of explosions in a military base in Equatorial Guinea's main city of Bata has jumped to 98, according to officials. Some 615 people were wounded in Monday's blasts, which started with a fire at the Nkoantoma military base in the coastal city of Bata. President Teodoro Obiang Nguema, who has ruled the country since 1979, attributed the disaster to negligence related to the handling of dynamite and said the explosions damaged almost all homes and buildings in Bata.
Al Jazeera report. Ivory Coast president names Patrick Achi as interim PM. Ivory Coast's president Alassane Ouattara named his close confidant and chief of staff, Patrick Achi, as interim prime minister on Monday in place of Hamd Bakayoko. State Minister Patrick Achi will take over the functions of Prime Minister and head of government in an interim capacity, the presidency said in a statement. Tane Birahima Ouattara, Presidential Affairs Minister and the younger brother of President Ouattara, was appointed interim defense minister, also replacing Bakayoko in that position.
Fox report. Capitol Police understaffed, insufficiently equipped to handle violent mob. Lt. Gen. Honoré Review. Because U.S. Capitol Police were understaffed, insufficiently equipped and inadequately trained to secure the Capitol and Congress members against a large, violent mob on Jan. 6. A 24/7 quick reaction force must be established amid growing security threats to the building, according to a final security review presented Monday by retired Army Lieutenant General Russell Honoré before the House in closed-door sessions.
CNN report. 20-somethings are finding their dream apartments on TikTok. As vacant apartments pile up in big cities, real estate agents are increasingly turning to TikTok to match 20-somethings with rentals that are a steal by pre-pandemic standards. City dwellers, or those aspiring to be one, often flock to sites such as Street Easy, Zillow, Compass, Trulia and Craigslist for apartment listings. But some say they are finding apartments on TikTok, the addictive video sharing app, where brokers can offer a more thorough viewing and prospective tenants can virtually tour multiple places in just a few minutes.
Thank you for watching 5 p.m. recap. To be notified, you can subscribe our channel and activate the bell.